Hi everybody, my name is Matt Poole. I'm the chef of the Hotel Washington on Washington Island in Wisconsin. I'm not currently in Wisconsin though. I'm in Oakland, California, where I've been sheltering in place for the last 6 weeks. And hopefully going to be leaving here soon and joining all my friends and coworkers on the island. Very much looking forward to a season this year, a little bit different, but I'll have some great things to offer for you guys, some things to go, and just try to do whatever we can in this very, very strange time to make sure you guys have some delicious food. But that does mean that we won't be there for you on Mother's Day. We have a Mother's Day brunch every year, and we love taking care of you guys and your moms. But we are going to be scattered to the winds until June. So what we thought was we would focus on maybe giving you some tips and tricks to help you bring a restaurant-style Mother's Day meal, breakfast, brunch to your mom. There's a lot of different things we could have done, but the thing that we decided to settle on was eggs. Eggs are one of those things that they're really easy to cook, but at the same time, they're tricky to really get down. They take a lot of practice. Some styles a little bit easier than others. But we thought that maybe we could take some of the stuff that I've learned personally in my years working in kitchens about eggs, about selecting them, about learning about them, and then also just how I think about cooking them, and then watch me actually cook scrambled and fried and poached eggs so that you can pick up some techniques to make them at home. So let's dive in. We're gonna first have this video is gonna be focused on just kind of an overview on eggs, things to be looking for when you go to the grocery store. Obviously right now you kind of gotta get what you can get, but just to kind of give you a bit of a sense of what I think about when I go to buy eggs at the grocery store or the market. And then there's gonna be a couple of other videos that are gonna focus on the individual techniques. So please, just go ahead and comment, and if you've got any questions, you could reach out to me at the hotel, Matt at hotelwashingtonandstudio.com. If you have any questions, I'd be very happy to help you guys make sure that you can have a very special Mother's Day with your family this season. So thank you so much, and we'll be seeing you all really soon. All right, so eggs are, on one hand, very simple, and on the other hand, are really, really complicated. So I don't think there's any better example of that than the packaging for eggs. When you go to the grocery store, there's obviously the commodity, the huge packages of white eggs that are really inexpensive. And then there's all these other boxes that have all these different words and terms, and they're really confusing. And I know for myself, I tried to decode all this information, and I've continued to try to understand what I'm looking at with all the new terms that are coming out for eggs. Really, those terms are more to kind of give you some confidence that you're getting a product that you can live with. But there are very few of those terms that are actually regulated. So the best is always to know where you're getting your eggs from, to know the people that are raising the chickens, to maybe even go visit the farm. That's always the best. It's not always possible. So let's take a look at these two packages, and I can tell you a little bit about some of the terms and what they actually mean. So first of all, this package over here, we see organic, cage-free, we see natural, we see organic fed diet, a couple of logos, non-GMO. Okay, so just talk about this one first. So organic always means non-GMO. That's one of the regulations. It's one of the parts of the USDA regulations for organic to be able to say something's organic. They're just telling you that. The USDA logo obviously is telling you, or the organic logo is telling you that they're organic. They're fed organic feed. The Humane Certified Raised and Handled, that is a organization outside monitoring organization that gives you the right to put that on your package. Natural means nothing. That's just a a weasel word. That's just a word that sounds like something, but it doesn't really tell you anything at all. Cage-free is a real term, regulated term. I mean, that is means that they have access to the outside. It doesn't mean that they are outside. It means that they can go outside if they want. And so some farms have ample regular outside, and some farms have a tiny little door that they can go out if they want to. But that is a term that is, it sounds nicer than it actually is. The term that I'm looking for right now is pasture. So when I'm looking at farm or eggs at the farmer's market, I'm looking at eggs at the grocery store, I'm looking for pasture. And the reason that I'm looking for that word in particular is that pasture is the way that chickens can live their most natural life. Chickens are foragers. They will eat bugs, they'll eat flowers, they'll eat seeds, they just kind of eat everything that's on the ground. And they also are fertilizing the ground as they're doing it, and they're aerating the soil as they're pecking around. So it's really great for the health of the soil, it's really great for the health of the animal, and so that is really the term that I look for most of all. Now, pasture is not a regulated term, so still you do want to do your due diligence if you can and look at the pasture-raised eggs that you're looking at and try to understand or educate yourself about where they're coming from and who's raising them. And the thing that I like about Vital Farms is that they are a national brand. They actually are an umbrella organization, an umbrella brand for a number of farms that they have that apply to Vital Farms. They can only be in regions where the chickens can actually forage outside, can be in pasture year round. So those tend to be in a certain belt kind of along the southern middle part of the United States, but they are available everywhere. I've been able to get them in Michigan, I've been able to get them in Illinois. I'm not sure if they're, maybe not everywhere, but I've seen them at a lot of different grocery stores in a lot of different places. I got these in California. So if you don't have your local farm that you work with and you love, this is a great alternative. So now that we've gone over a little bit of the packaging, let's talk about the eggs themselves. Okay, so here are our two eggs. The one on the right here is this Vital Farms. The one on the left is this Glom's Organic. So there's two things that are, to me, staring right in my face when I see these eggs. One is the color of the yolks. The one over here is darker, more orangey yellow. The one over here is definitely more pale. They're both fairly, tight. They're not broken, so that's a good sign. That means that they're not very old. They tend to degrade. They kind of start to fall apart and tend to break more often if the eggs are old. But the only thing that they're really telling you is the feed of the chicken. Chickens, when they eat natural forage, tend to have darker yolks. Also, they can be fed marigold flowers, things like that, to bulk the color of I think it's even just beta carotene that's in their feed that actually will add to the color of the yolk. So it's not telling you much about the flavor or about the health benefits of the eggs. It's just really just about the feed that they're eating. Now, the other thing is the white, and you could see here on the egg on the right, the white has two sections. There's a thinner, watery outer white, and then there's this inner white here. And that inner white on this egg is really tight, held to the yolk, and kind of it's moving around with the yolk. You can see it. You can see that kind of shadow on the outside. That's a really great sign. The one over here, that watery yolk and the inner yolk are all kind of blending together. So this one right here is probably a little bit older. It's also just going to be not as pretty when you're making your eggs. So I think this one right here is just going to be our winner based on appearance alone. That's a big part of eating is seeing the kind of color or the shape or the getting that kind of initial awe when you see something that looks just perfect. Especially for your mom, we want to make sure that we're making perfect eggs. So we're going to go with these for today.